I want to give you a first 30-day blueprint. So if you are a business owner or a social media content creator and you're not yet driving traffic from Instagram to your business page, or you're not monetizing your social media, then this video is for you. It's going to be broken down in a really simple, easy to understand, and easy to adopt strategy. We're going to go week by week and give you the blueprint to your first 30 days. So let's get into it. The very first thing on week number 1 is going to be a social media audit. I'm going to use an example of a brand new student, happens to be my sister-in-law, but she was visiting over Christmas and I had the privilege to start coaching her on her new Instagram page. Now, she's actually had the page for a few years. She is a children's book author and a therapist, but she wasn't using the page. And we talked about using the page to drive traffic to her children's book and help get sales of that book. So the first thing when we look at an audit, you can see Carla's page here on the screen, and she's got a few followers already. It was actually 29 when we first started this. And what first thing that we did was we looked at the nameplate. So here, your nameplate is the most searchable part on your Instagram bio. That means that all of that SEO or anything that people type in, it's going to look at the words within your nameplate. Now, if you are not a verified account, you can actually write more things in this name than just your first name and last name. If you're meta verified, you do have to stick with your first name and last name. So in this case, she has a couple other keywords here, healing and women empowerment, for example. When we go into the bio itself, we want to make sure that this part of the bio tells the audience what's in it for them. So in your first line, it's okay to talk about yourself. She's saying she's a Minneapolis-based children's book author, mom of 2, trauma-informed therapist. But in the next line or anything below, I want you to think about your followers. Why are they following you and what's in it for them? So here she said, I create stories inspired by my own parenting journey. I would suggest an edit to this. Instead of saying what you do, talk about what your future follower or future customer is going to find on your page. So for example, empowering other parents on their parenting journey, or supporting women as busy mothers, something with empowering, supporting, sharing versus I create. So that's a quick change we're going to recommend there. Now, the profile picture should match whatever your page is about. In this case, it's Carla M. Author, so her profile picture is a picture of herself. That's perfect. It's also a professional photo. It's catchy. It's cute. If you were maybe a body shop or you're somebody that's posting a lot about cars, it could be you standing in front of a Corvette or whatever cars you're going to be posting. So in this case, her picture is great. We'll leave that. Now we want to look at the link. The link is maybe the most important piece of your bio overall. This is a call to action. So the mistake that a lot of creators make, or a lot of business owners with their business pages make, is they simply put a link to their website. But imagine you as a customer, when you go click on somebody's website, do you want to have to search around, figure out how to find that thing you went there to buy? Do you want to have to look for their contact information? You don't. So instead of dropping them directly on your website, drop them to whatever your call to action is. For example, with Carla's, we actually went ahead and we changed her page. Instead of just her website, we clicked directly on shopping her book, since her goal is to promote sales of her children's book. In another case, let's say that you are a coach and you want to schedule one-on-one sessions. You're going to drop them straight on your calendar to book a session with you. Maybe you're somebody that's trying to collect an email list, and so you're doing a free giveaway or a free ebook or free download in order to capture email addresses. You're going to want to direct them straight to that download and not just to your website. 4 and 5 are a little more advanced. So there is a feature on Instagram called Pin Your Post. I can't do it from my desktop, but what you do is you hit your reel from your phone, you click the 3 dots in the upper right corner, and it'll say Manage Reel. From there, you have an opportunity to pin a post at the top of your Instagram. This is a great way when your account is new and you're trying to tell people what your page is about. You can create an introduction pin or a start here kind of a pin. You can make a cover on it that says start here, or begin your journey here, or intro to this account, or what you can expect. So you can title that cover page so that when someone drops on your page, they can look at that post first. Number 5, again, this is an advanced strategy. You don't have to do this in week 1, but I do want to mention it in case you're somebody that already knows how to edit content and maybe you're already using a tool like Canva. You can start out by creating brand colors, fonts so that your page looks cohesive. You can see in this example, we haven't done that with Carla's page yet, but I want to open up another page that I just started, a brand new page that's going to be attached to this type of content in helping business owners and creators grow. So this is a brand new page I just created. Today is the 3rd day of this page open, and you can see that I have a profile picture. In this case, it's just myself. I have also made my username something that people would have an indication of what my account is going to be about. So it's going to be about influencing and creating. And so I grabbed a username that says influence in it. Now, Mikasa is actually my brand on my regular main channel, which is styled Mikasa. So I'm just carrying my branding over to this page. Also here, I do introduce myself at the very beginning. I say I'm a creator over at Styled Mikasa, and you'll see that the branding is very similar on the 2 pages so that people will recognize my account. I'm using similar photos here, so if they know my account from here, they're going to gravitate towards following me also on my other account. But then I've used these cover pages, and so the cover pages are showing, you can see it's not actually the reel itself, but aesthetically, when somebody drops on my page, I do want them to instantly see my branding and my color palette and some consistency here on the page. The other thing on the call to action for this particular page, my call to action is my YouTube, and it is specifically the social media growth type of videos. So that's where I'm dropping them. Instead of putting them directly on my YouTube page, I put them on a playlist, and the playlist is all of the things about my social media marketing. Okay, so week 1, we did kind of your basics, which is your nameplate, your bio, your link, making sure it's a call to action. And we also did a little more advanced strategy of pinning your top post as an introduction and also branding all of the cover photos and the colors on your page. So we're going to move on to week number 2. In week number 2, we are going to start to look at our content. Now, content can be really intimidating for new creators or for businesses trying to promote their business, especially if you are a service business. The first thing you usually think of when you create content is you're thinking to promote your services. You're maybe thinking, I'm going to create a video about how I do service calls to fix your furnace, or I'm going to create a video about the 20% off coupon. But I want to encourage you to kind of reverse the narrative. And instead of thinking about what you do and what you offer, I want you to think about what that future customer or that future follower is going to want from your page. So there's really 3 pillars that we're going to use when we create content. We want to make sure that it educates the person that's following, or it inspires the person that's going to follow, or it's entertaining them. Now, for me, I don't really have the greatest sense of humor, and I'm not that good at entertaining. I mean, I have a good sense of humor, like I'll laugh at your jokes, but I just don't make great jokes. So I tend to gravitate more towards education on my page. I like giving tips about styling and curtains and home decor. I like to give sources for finding great affordable finds. But whatever fits your personality, if you're somebody that has a great sense of humor and you can entertain in your reels, maybe you're a plumber, and instead of just showing, hey, I do house calls and I'm going to fix your toilet, maybe you happen to have some video footage of a toilet spraying water in somebody's face, and you're going to use that to entertain people and capture somebody's attention. But when you're making your content, think of, before posting, is it educating? Is it inspiring, or is it entertaining? And if it's none of those things, re-envision that post. The other thing is consistency. A lot of people, when they're just starting out, they don't know how often they should post. So a major question I get is, should I post daily? Should I post twice a day? And although, yes, you will grow faster if you post twice a day or you post daily, for a lot of people, that is not manageable. And so my suggestion would be, don't do something that's going to burn you out. Do something that is sustainable over time. So if right now you have time to post 2 times a week, the algorithm is actually going to value the consistency more than the quantity. So I would encourage you, if you can post Monday and Wednesday, post Monday and Wednesday every week. When you get more ideas and you're more creative and it's faster for you to create this content, add a third day and add Fridays. But try to stay consistent. Pick your days that you want to post and stick with them. Now, week 3, we are going to be refining and practicing better content. I've given you kind of the pillars of what each one of your posts should contain, and we've also talked about how often you should post. But I want to give you some specific strategies on each one of those posts and how you can make sure that each post has a call to action. When you do share a post on Instagram, the people that are going to follow you have a couple of choices. They can engage with that post in a few different ways. They can comment, they can like, they can share, and they can save. They could even put it on their own stories or send it to somebody's inbox when they share it. So, in order to help encourage them to do those things, you actually have to ask them to do those things. And so sometimes if you never put a call to action on your reel, you won't get a lot of engagement. The other thing that you should keep in mind is that if you ask them to do all of those things, they will likely be overwhelmed and do none of them. So pick one goal for each post that you make. I would suggest reels. Reels are going to grow you much faster than any type of content on Instagram. So if you're asking, should I do a reel? Should I do a photo, a carousel? Do reels, 100% reels when you're new and you're trying to grow. Each reel can have a specific goal. For example, let's say that a goal on the reel that I'm going to post today is to get shares. I want to make sure that that content is shareable. So usually memes, things with humor, things that are trending, good ideas, those a lot of times you want to share with your friends. If I want to make sure that my reel is savable, maybe it's a DIY or it's a tutorial. Maybe I'm doing some wood paneling on my walls. I'm going to mention save this post for later when you do your wood paneling on your walls. So make sure that that call to action is at the end of your post, or even you can use text on the screen and ask them to like, follow, or share, but just use one call to action in each reel. Earlier, we talked about the brands and the colors. Now, if you haven't done this yet and you're into week 3, I want you to think a little bit more about this. After you have some posts under your belt and you've had a chance to kind of understand what it is you're going to be posting about, you may now get a sense for what kind of colors you're gravitating towards or what your branding is going to be. This can be a lot easier for businesses who probably already have a color scheme and a logo and a brand, but this can be hard for content creators when they're first starting out. Within tools like Canva, there are branding kits, so you can kind of pick your color palette, you can do a logo, and you can save all of that into your brand kit right on Canva, which makes sure that your templates and everything you do uses those colors and that branding from now on. And point number 3, we talked about this already in week 2, but again, every time you post, think about your ideal customer or your ideal follower instead of yourself. Let me give you an example. I'm going to show you 2 scenarios of a reel. The first one, it's going to be all about me. And the second one, I'm going to use the same exact goal of the reel, which is selling this mug, but I'm going to flip the script and make it more about them and what they can expect from the mug. I just received these mugs in stock. They're 16 ounces. They have this beautiful beige and brown color, and they are $14.99, available today on my shop. So that's an example of a post that's kind of all about me, my business, and what I offer. If I flip the narrative on that post and I'm still going to tell the customer about the mug, this mug holds a whole cup and a half of coffee. It feels so luxurious in my hand, and it just feels like romanticizing my coffee every morning. So there, I still talked about my experience. However, it was more about the emotion, and it was connecting with what they're going to get if they buy this mug. A few other practical examples. Maybe you are the plumber that we were talking about earlier. Now, instead of talking about your services, what you offer, your pricing, and your discounts, you could start by sharing tips and tricks on maintaining your plumbing fixtures. You could share your favorite cleaners for brass fixtures or how to get water spots off your black faucets. You could share anything that a buyer of a plumbing fixture or a buyer of plumbing services is going to be interested in. So you're kind of catering to homeowners, you're educating them. And of course, like we mentioned before, if you've got a great sense of humor, you can entertain them. Inspiring, I think, is a little bit harder to do with services accounts, but inspiring might be easier to do if you are a therapist, for example. Now, our final week of our 30-day blueprint to get your business or your creator account launched on Instagram and start driving traffic or helping you monetize. The final thing we want to do here is train the algorithm. Now, Instagram has more than one algorithm. There are multiple algorithms. They have their primary algorithm. It's also different depending if you're on stories, if you're on your feed. But I think a really easy way to think about these algorithms is that they are essentially designed to keep the user on the platform as long as possible. So the more that your content inspires, educates, entertains, the more they like, they share, they comment, the more that they give signals to Instagram that they're enjoying your content, then the more Instagram pushes your content out to other people and people who are likely to want to follow your account. So how do we tell the algorithm or how do we tell Instagram what your account is about or what kind of people they should push it out, especially when it's new, you don't have a lot of engagement? We need to kind of train the algorithm how to find accounts that are your ideal follower. First of all, you're going to follow accounts that are similar to yours or that are within your niche. Another way of saying this could be your competitors. I don't really view anyone on Instagram as my competitor because there's so many people on the platform. There's plenty of business to go around. However, it is nice to follow accounts similar to yours because you do get ideas, you get inspired on creating your own content, you can see what's resonating. So, for example, if an account is similar to yours and they have a reel that goes viral that a lot of people are engaging with, you can use that idea as something your audience will likely be interested in. So, it's important to follow accounts within your niche. The other thing that following accounts within your niche does is it tells Instagram what you are about. And it'll help push your content to the right people, especially if you do number two, which is liking, commenting, and interacting with accounts like yours. This starts to build a network within Instagram and it starts to connect. The more that you guys talk to each other, the more they answer you and you answer them back. It tells Instagram, oh, okay, these guys are connected. So whatever this guy likes, then this one will also like. And so your content will start getting pushed to the followers of those accounts that you're engaging with. You don't have to only follow people or accounts, you can also follow hashtags. So if there are some hashtags that are particular to your niche, for example, I'm in home decor, so I follow patio decor, outdoor decor, I follow my favorite designers, Chris Loves Julia, and also affiliates that I partner with like Walmart. You can follow both people and hashtag. And the final thing that I want to point out on this page is an exercise. This exercise is designed to get you to think about what the algorithm or the algorithms, plural, in Instagram are really about. Every time that you are tempted to say the word algorithm, I want you to replace that word with audience. So if you're tempted to say, oh, the algorithm didn't push out my content, it didn't like it, think about, well, your audience didn't like your content and that's why it wasn't pushed out. Or if you are wanting to say, oh, I really nailed the algorithm, that post went viral, that's because your content, your audience liked and shared and commented on that content, which pushed it out to more people and caused it to go viral. So really the algorithm is the audience because it's designed to keep the audience on Instagram longer, and whatever pleases that audience is going to get promoted the most on Instagram's Explore page. So please your audience and you will please the algorithm, and subsequently you will grow. Now, I have recapped all of this information for you. I am going to give you a download version of this in PDF so you can save it and refer to it in your first 30 days as you start your journey to success as a business owner, as a creator. Feel free to put comments on this YouTube video Definitely subscribe and follow me because that really helps support my page and show me that you're interested in this kind of content. And it also feeds the YouTube algorithm to push it out to more people. But comment and let me know what you're struggling with as a new content creator or a business owner trying to grow on social media. And I would love to make videos that help you grow. Thanks for watching.